It's late in the evening. Temperature's starting to cool off. Sun's starting to set. It's about 7 o'clock. Don't have much time. But what I like to do is make some badminton poles. My daughter bought a badminton set, but it has these flimsy plastic poles that are supposed to click together that don't look like they'd last one game with my grandkids. When my others were small, I ended up pouring some concrete and setting some poles in it. Very stable, easy to roll around, never had to worry about them breaking. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And you're going to do it with me if you stick around. Trying to find a suitable material, and I finally found some leftover vinyl siding for the eave. So all I need to do is cut this thing. I'm assuming you can see me cutting it. There's got to be a better way, better tool. Right back. I have gone to the vault of tools and I have found my vinyl scissors. As soon as I started cutting, I realized I had something better. These are made for it. Once I get going, I knew it would make quick work of this. In case you guys are missing it. Basically a pair of scissors. I don't know how long this is, but whatever it is, I'm going to divide it into two. There's two. And that's what we're doing. We're making a diameter to pour concrete into. A circle. I'm going to go find some Gorilla Tape to hold this into place. Okay. My shirt can work. There's a cleaner. There we go. That's the bottom edge. There's two. These are my two poles right here. Conduit poles. Fairly thick enough for what I need. I need to drill some holes in these. So I need to drill a hole so I can put this in here. That way, when I turn this, it's going to want to turn the concrete too. Makes it a lot easier to roll them around when you need to put them up. That's my bit right there. I want this about 2 inches from the bottom. Move my drink so I don't get any metal pieces in my drink. I am going to go with a smaller bit to get started. Yeah, that's got a lot more juice. Check that out. First one is done. Same thing again on this one. 12 3/4. 13. That works for me. 2 done. I'm gonna have to set this so you can see. But first, let's put stuff away we don't need. We're gonna have to call it quits for tonight. It's 7 o'clock and it's Thursday night football, and well, we're gonna watch some football. But before I do, I'm gonna cut these two. They need to be 11 each. Each side cut down to 11. Sorry, I don't mean to be turning my back to you. Could do it like this. What I could do, I should do it like that. That's 10. That's 10 right there. 10 and 10. All right, safety glasses, but they're glasses. The biggest thing is to never look at it straight on, so if it breaks, it comes right at you. Doesn't take but a second. There we go, there's 10 inches. I'm sorry, I'm taping this out of camera. That was the goal, to tape a circle. And now you can see it's going to sit in the center of that. We'll fill that up with concrete and voila. So there's one done. Let's get this other one done real quick. There it is. Be ready tomorrow to pour some concrete and get those poles in there. It's time to put the tools away, head inside, and get dinner going. And some Thursday night football. See you another time. All right, it's time to get back to work on the project. We're in the barn, so I don't think I'm gonna need a hat. I can get rid of this. Let's get caught up with where we're at. So I have a small concrete slab that I've poured inside the barn. And I've got each one of these forms sitting on some plastic on top of that slab. So I'll mix the concrete and pour it right into those and then just lift it off when I'm done. This is the plastic badminton pole that came with it. It is really flimsy. It's designed to be able to put into a small case, but it won't take long and that'll be broke. I'm gonna go ahead and take a grinder and cut this down so we don't have 10 feet of pole when we only need about 8. I couldn't find the clear safety glasses. Okay, that gets rid of any sharp edges on there. I'm trying to be creative with my camera shot, I'm sorry. Okay, that takes care of number 2. Now I need to find a creative way to hold these straight up while the concrete sets. someplace I have got some string just for that. Open it up, I better take a sip before it gets warm. Okay, we've got some string. So what I'm going to do is tie it off to two of the posts holding the barn up and wrap it around the post that we're pouring the concrete on to hold it in place. Turn you just a little bit so it makes a little more sense. It's going to make a lot more sense in just a second. Get this string out of the way. A lot more sense. It seems like 99% of the projects I do, I'm doing by myself. So it seems like I always have to come up with ingenious ways to hold things in place or to move something heavy. Okay, this should make it simple enough. We just wind it around it a couple of times. We can turn it wherever we need to turn it and it'll move it. I've done the same thing with this one. So now you can see the string holds everything straight up and down. And the bottom is ready to have some concrete put in it. And that will hold those in place while the concrete sets up. Not a bad idea if I do say so myself. I love this hoe. This was my great-grandmother's who gardened. This was my mother who gardened, and now it's mine. And even though I don't do tons of gardening, I use it to mix all my concrete when I mix them by hand. I prefer the 50-pound bags, but my brother bought those and had some left over and gave them to me. So I got 80-pound bags. We're just going to mix some concrete and put it in the holes. All right, we've got some water. It's just going to be a guesstimation until it feels like the right consistency. Trying to make sure I get it off of the bottom. It's a lot easier once it's off the bottom. You're fine. There's nothing fancy to do. I might end up having 2 per bag, or 2 bags per item. Looks like that way. I have found that if you have a bucket with some water right next to you, the easiest thing to do is just stick your hands in the bucket. the weight is going to turn this into a perfect circle. Alrighty, there we have it. Concrete's poured, they're setting up. In a couple hours I'll probably come back and trowel them off. Maybe about 12 hours I'll come and take the plastic off around the edges and smooth that down. But next time you see it, we might be playing badminton. So I'm doing the wrap up for the badminton bowls. So as you can see behind me, it's turned out pretty good. Nothing too complicated, just some eye bolts through a post and concrete. And as evidence it works, kid shoes and kid feet. So we've done that for the grandkids. What else could we do to make their lives easier? Until the next project, please like and subscribe. Thanks.